चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वब्दकान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्राद्धे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे। हरे कृष्णा। तो सभी भक्तों का स्वागत है। So we welcome all the devotees for today's class on Bhagavad Gita Jayanti. So it's a very special day, Gita Jayanti, when the Gita came into this entire universe. So we will study about the glorifications of Bhagavad Gita a little bit, and then we'll go understand the importance of this festival, Gita Jayanti. So the importance of Bhagavad Gita mentioned in various Shastras, the most important in Puranas and Narad Pancharatra, it is mentioned in Padma Puran also. कलो गंगा मुक्तिदात्री कलो गीता परागति नास्ते यज्ञादि कार्याणि हरेर्नामेव केवलम कलो विमुक्ताय नृणाम नास्तेव गतिरन्यथा। कलो गंगा मुक्तिदात्री, like Ganga, Ganges gives the liberation to the material people. Kalo Gita Parahagati, similarly, one who reads Bhagavad Gita gets the Param Gati, gets the ultimate liberation, ultimate moksha. Nasti Yagya Adi Karyani, no Yagya can be equivalent to the reading of Bhagavad Gita. Harer Naam Eva Kevalam, and the most important thing which this tells about is Harer Naam Eva Kevalam, the most important, the chanting of the holy name. Kalo Vimuktaya Nranam Nastev Gatirannitha. In this Kali Yuga, if you want to get liberated from the three modes of material nature, only and only reading of Bhagavad Gita and the chanting of the holy name can liberate us, can deliver us from this material world. So this was also asked by the counterpart of Lord Shiva, Parvati Mata. So once Parvati Mata asked Lord Shiva, "Oh Mahadev, you are the ultimate Tattvaveta, you know the Tattvas of Krishna, who is Krishna. So please guide me, what is the importance of reading Gita on the Gita Jayanti day? What is the importance of hearing about Gita on the Gita Jayanti day?" So Sri Hari explained to Lord Shiva and Parvati also, which is explained by Lord Krishna to Lakshmi. Similarly, now the Lord Shiva explaining it to Lord Parvati, goddess Parvati. So why Shivji is being known as Tattvaveta? Why? So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 2, verse number 20 says, Evam prasanna manaso bhagvat bhakti yogataha bhagvat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Evam prasanna manso, one who remains always happy. Like Srila Prabhupada used to mention, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So one who remains happy by chanting of the holy name, Bhagavad Bhakti Yogate, and one who is always engaged in the devotional service, loving devotional service of Krishna, that person is called as Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. That person is called as Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. Mukta Sangasya Jayate, and one who understands the importance of the chanting of the holy name, one who remains fearless in all the situations, one who is always happy in all the situations and keep chanting the holy name Hare Krishna, that fellow is called as Bhagavat Tattva Vigyataha. So how we can understand that who is Bhagavat Tattva Vigyata? One who remains fearless, one who always remains happy, and one who always engaged in the devotional service of Krishna. And that person is living muktaha, jivan muktaha, that while living also is considered as a liberated soul. He is not considered as the material nature is engrossed in the Maya, is considered as a liberated soul. So that is why Parvati is saying, oh Lord Shiva, you are Tattvaveta. So what is the importance of Bhagavad Gita? Tell me. So Shivji, Lord Shiva, the importance is told by Lord Shiva also to the Prachetas in Srimad Bhagavatam, where he says, Lord Shiva says, the only thing one can do to get liberation from this material world is to surrender to Lord Krishna. Ya paramam ramhasya sakshat trigunat jiva sangitam bhagavatam vasudevam prapannam sa priyo hime. Lord Shiva says to Prachetas in Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto that one becomes very dear to me. If you want to become dear to Lord Shiva, then he is saying Bhagavatam Vasudevam Prapannam. You have to surrender to Lord Krishna. So similarly says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Saranam Brajaha Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshashyami Mashucha. If you really want to get liberated from all the sins you have done in your past life, then you have to surrender only to me, relieving all the bondage of all kind of material relationships, dharma, the mental attitude that I belong to this material body and the people around me belong to me. Aham mameti. If you get relief from all these kind of connections, you can surrender to Krishna. And if you surrender to Krishna, Krishna guarantees, Ma Shuchaha, do not fear, I will take away all the sins you have done in your past life. But that can happen only by Bhagavatam Vasudevam Prapannam. That who is saying? Lord Shiva is saying to Prachetas, that person who surrenders to Krishna, Sa Priyo Hime, he becomes dear to Lord Shiva. What an amazing fact. People always keep sharing. There are some sampradaya, those who say Gita is spoken by Lord Shiva. Some says Gita is spoken by Nirakar Brahma. He was residing in the heart of Lord Krishna, who was a king, a very beautiful personality, but he did not spoke Bhagavad Gita. So these kind of misconceptions also come, which is clarified by Puranas and importantly by Srimad Bhagavad Purana. So Lord Shiva says to Parvati, the similar question asked by Lakshmi Mata to Lord Vishnu, that you are asking what is the importance of Gita Jayanti, what is the importance of Gita. The similar question asked by Lakshmi ji to Lord Vishnu. Then Vishnu ji explained it to Goddess Lakshmi that what is Bhagavad Gita? What is Bhagavad Gita? Evam ashtadash adhyayi vangmayi murti ishwari. This is spoken by Lord Vishnu himself in Puran. Evam ashtadash adhyayi, all the 18 chapters, ashta adhyayi, all the 18 chapters, evam ashtadash adhyayi vangmayi murti ishwari. This is the book form of my body. If you touch Bhagavad Gita, you are touching Krishna. This is the form of Krishna in this material world. Evam Ashtadashai Vangmai Murti. Murti means the deity. Murti Ishwari. Goddess deity. God's deity is in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Then Bhagavan Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, explains the first 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. You should consider my five mouth, my 5 face of Bhagavad Gita first chapters. From 1 to 5 are the 5 faces of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. From 6 to next 10 chapters till chapter 15, Purushottam Yoga, that is considered as the 10 arms of Lord Vishnu. Dasa Bhuja, 10 arms of Lord Vishnu. Then comes the 16th chapter, that is my stomach, Udara. Stomach is my Udara, is my stomach, the 16th chapter. And then 17 and 18 chapter should be considered as by the lotus feet, Charana Kamala Padambujam. You should consider the 2 chapters in the last, 17 and 18, in the form of my Charana Kamal. So this is a deity. Krishna is standing in front of you. 5 faces are the 5 chapters. Then 10 chapters till 15 are the 10 arms of Krishna. 16 is the stomach of Krishna. And 17 and 18 chapter is the lotus feet of Krishna. Evam Ashtadashadhai Vangmai Murtir Ishwari. This is the form of God in the book form, in the Shabda Brahma, in the form of words. We can read and we can understand, yes, he is Krishna himself. Bhagavan Krishna, the God Krishna, spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Then, when Krishna went back to the Nitya Dham, Golok Vrindavan, after finishing all his 125 years of activities on this material world. So when Arjuna came to know about it, Arjuna was very depressed that how can I live without Krishna? He was a pure soul, liberated soul. How can I live without Krishna? He was wondering, how can I live without Krishna? He was crying, shouting loudly. Suddenly he remembers the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And then Arjuna says, I feel the instructions of Bhagavad Gita is a form of Krishna, like Krishna speaking himself in front of me. And that gave me complete relief in my material life. So if we also read Bhagavad Gita on the Gita Jayanti day, people come to Kurukshetra Dham, where the battlefield was established and there were 18 Akshuni Senas were standing. And that was a fight going to happen between Kauravas and Pandavas. Everybody knows about it. So, what's the important point to know? That there were 18 Akshuni Senas. 18 Akshuni means that in one Akshuni Sena, there are 21,870 chariots. In one Akshuni Sena, like it's a detail given in Shastra, that one Akshuni means what? There were 18 Akshunis. So one Akshuni Sena means this army, one Akshuni army comprises of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses, and 1,09,350 army men, Paidal Sainik, army men. So this complete makes one Akshuni. And there were 18 Akshuni Senas, 11 on the side of Kauravas and 7 on the side of Pandavas. So Duryodhan was having 11 Akshuni Sena and Arjun was having 7 Akshuni Sena. So sometimes people don't understand how come this happens. So previously when the fight was planned, there were only 10 Akshuni Senas with Duryodhan and 1 was with Arjuna, 7 was with Arjuna. So there was 17 Akshuni. But when Duryodhan and Arjun went to Krishna, that Krishna, we want your support in this complete battle between two cousin brothers. So we want your help. So at that time, Krishna says, I will participate in this battle, but I will not take any shastra in my hand. I will not take any weapon in my hand. So Duryodhana said, that's so good. You be the part of Arjuna, and I will take your one Akshuni Sena, one Narayani Sena, which comprises of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses, and 1,09,350 army men. So Duryodhana took away all the one Akshuni Sena with him, and Arjuna was left with only Krishna, who is not going to take any weapon. And Krishna took a vow, I will not take weapon in the complete 18 days of the battle. So when this was all set in this, the Bhishma chariot was a white, silver colored, and it was driven by the white horses. And it having a flag which is golden color of flag on the Bhishma chariot. And the sun was rising in the golden dawn, and the Bhishma spoke to his soldiers. Today is a very auspicious day because gates of the heaven are open. Moksha dwaram apavritam. One who dies on this battlefield today will go straight away to Swargaloka. Moksha dwaram apavritam. Why? Why? Because Bhishma was a great devotee of Lord. He says, because Krishna is standing in front of us, and whosoever dies in this battlefield will go, the gate of heaven is open. So all the Kshatriya soldiers, do not fear. I will be leading you all. I will the commander in chief. And the battlefield is only glorious to die for a Kshatriya. One who is in the army, it's glorious to die on the battlefield. And if somebody dies on the battlefield, straight away goes to heaven. So without thinking about tomorrow, fight like this, that today is the last day, I have to win this battle. So do not think of. And similarly on the other side, so Bhishma was the leader of one Akshoni Sena. Other side, the Arjuna was having a chariot given by the Lord Agni, God Agni, and demigod Agni Dev, and Indra provided the horses, and the Arjuna was having a chariot with a flag where the Hanuman is established. So Hanuman is blessing Arjuna. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was riding the chariot of Arjuna. And he was the leader for the battlefield. So he arranged the army, which is called as Vajra Vyuh. So there are different kind of views which comes in this Vedas, Atharva Veda. In Vedas, it is explained how to fight. So Germany army studies the Vedas and they plan their army. They become the best armies in the world because they study Vedas and they plan accordingly. So there are different views explained, like Sudarshan view, Chakra view, like bow view, Dhanusha view. So there are various views. Vajra view. So the Arjun army was planned in a way of Vajra view, and later on the Duryodhan planned with the help of Dronacharya Chakra view to kill Abhimanyu. So this battle was a glorious battle, and that is why it is called as Mahabharat, the great Indian battle, the great Indian epic Mahabharat. So in the Mahabharat, the most important part is Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes people don't understand what is the importance of Bhagavad Gita. They should understand that what is the importance of Bhagavad Gita, like if somebody has to make a ring, a golden ring with a diamond on it. So the ring is meant for keeping a diamond, or diamond is kept because the ring is made. So what becomes the most important? The ring is made to keep the diamond. If you go to an astrologer, if you say, I want to wear a ruby or a topaz or an emerald, so the astrologer will say, you wear this ruby, the stone is very, very auspicious for you, but wear it in copper. So the copper ring is meant for wearing a stone ruby. You wear diamond in gold. So to wear a diamond, the complete ring of gold is meant. Similarly, for Bhagavad Gita, the diamond, the complete Mahabharata is made. The Mahabharata having 1 lakh shlokas, which is a ring, but the important part is 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. That is the diamond of Mahabharata. So that becomes the most important knowledge for the entire world. So when Bhishma wanted that, I want to see the Lord's form, Sudarshan Chakra form, because Bhishma always meditate on that. And 10 days been passed of the battlefield. And we see that Arjuna was winning and Bhishma was not winning the game. So Duryodhana shouted, what kind of battle you are fighting? You are the commander-in-chief. Go and kill Arjuna. Otherwise, leave this battle. You are the oldest person. The expertise you have of the battlefield. Still, you are not fighting properly. Go, fight. So Bhishma said, okay, tomorrow I will fight like it last day and I will win over Arjuna. So Krishna, being the Paramatma, the super souls residing in everybody's heart, knows each and everything. So next day, Krishna was riding the chariot and Arjuna was fighting. So Bhishma fight in a way that Arjuna lost the battle. Like it seems to be that Arjuna is losing a battle. The flag has gone, the bow has gone, everything is gone, and Arjuna was fallen, the crown was fallen. And that time, Bhishma was very angrily fighting. Too much of anger he was showing. Very like a lion he was fighting and shouting and roaring. Suddenly, Krishna jumped from the chariot and took the wheel of the chariot in his arms and starting to kill Bhishma. Oh Bhishma, today I am going to kill you because you are fighting with Arjuna, my sweetest, my loved devotee. So now the question arises, sometimes people say, how can Bhishma fight with Arjuna, with Krishna, when he knows Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? How kind of devotee he is? So Bhishma was fighting because that is the desire of Krishna. That is the desire of Krishna. That you should fight Bhishma from the opposite side so that I can show you my Sudarshan Chakra form. So Bhishma was, being the best devotee of the Lord, fighting in a way so that I can see the Sudarshan Chakra form of Krishna. And the moment Krishna took the wheel in his hands, Bhishma stopped throwing the arrows on Arjuna or anyone. He came down from his chariot with folded hands and prayed to Lord Krishna. Oh Krishna, I wanted to see only this form. But Krishna was in very mood of anger and running towards Bhishma. Now again the question arises, the Krishna took the vow that I will not fight, I will not take any weapon in my hand. How could Krishna took the weapon? Why he broke the vow? So logically he did not break the vow. He took the wheel of a chariot, which is not a weapon. Which is not a weapon. If you take out the wheel of your car and throw on someone, somebody cannot claim or give a complaint in a police station that this fellow has thrown a weapon on me or tried to kill me, because the wheel of a car cannot be considered as a weapon. Even if you consider it as a weapon, when Krishna was going towards Bhishma shouting, Arjuna was holding the leg of Krishna. Oh Krishna, do not break your vow, do not break your vow, do not break your vow. He was shouting. And holding tightly and trying to drag Krishna back. But Krishna was in so much of anxiety that I will lose my devotee Arjuna, Krishna forget that I am the Supreme Lord. Only by my sankalpa shakti, my thinking, I can kill Bhishma. I can bring Sudarshan in my hand. I can throw Sudarshan. Forget everything because of the love towards the devotees. Why? Why that kind of love? Because Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita attentively. Because Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita. If you hear Bhagavad Gita attentively, you become loved for Krishna, lovable devotee of Krishna. And if you become lovable devotee of Krishna and you surrender, you become lovable devotee to Lord Shiva. If you become lovable devotee to Lord Shiva, Goddess Parvati is going to bless you. The complete demigods are going to bless you. The entire demigods are going to bless you because you heard Bhagavad Gita attentively. So this is how. So then the question comes that what kind of love Krishna was having towards Arjuna. Prabal prem ke pale padkar Prabhu ko niyam badalte dekha. We have seen that Krishna changes his vows just because of the love towards his devotee. Saketi, Madhaveti, Priyati. Krishna used so many words. You are my Sakha, you are my friend. Priyati, Priyosime, because you are most dearmost to me. I am sharing the confidential knowledge in the chapter 9. So that love we have to develop. So Lord Vishnu explained to Lakshmi ji that I am going to share one glories of Bhagavad Gita with you. Lakshmi ji sat down very attentively to hear the glory of reading Bhagavad Gita. Then Lord Vishnu says, it's an old story, Lakshmi, that you nara pathet nityam Gita Shastram dine dine vimuktam sarva papebhyo yanti Vishnu param padam. Lord Vishnu spoke one shloka. Yo nara pathet nityam. A one person who reads Bhagavad Gita, Gita Shastram dine dine, every day. If you make a vow that I will read Bhagavad Gita every day, vimuktam sarva papebhyo, all the sins done in this life, previous life, hundreds of the births, vimuktam sarva papebhyo, you will get liberation, you will get free of all the sins. Yanti Vishnu param padam, and you will go back to the Vaikuntha Dham, Dham of Vishnu. So Lakshmi becomes so interested. Really? Only by reading Bhagavad Gita it can happen? Can you share one example? Then Lord Vishnu says, yes, I am going to share you. There was one Brahmana. He was born in a Brahmin family. To get a birth in a Brahmin family, you require a lot of pious credits. But being in a Brahmana family, if somebody does not follow the rules of being a Brahmana, he should be considered as a Dvij Bandhu. Dvij Bandhu means is born in a Brahmin family like Ashwatthama, but is not behaving like a Brahmana. Dvij Bandhu. So he did not chant, he will not do any Yagya, he will not read Shastras, Vedas, Puranas, he will have a fault-finding attitude, he will have a criticizing attitude, he will break all the 4 regulative principles. So that kind of a Brahmana, Lord Vishnu explained to Lakshmi ji that being born in a Brahmin family, he was not doing any activities of a Brahmana. But one day, he went to one ashram which was in a very sacred and very dense forest. Why did he went to this ashram? Because there was a tree which was an intoxicating tree, a tree which provides the leaves. If you burn that leaf, you can smoke like a cigarette. If you make a juice out of it, that can become like alcohol, intoxicating drinks you can take. So he went to that ashram to pick all the leaves fallen from a tree in that ashram. Suddenly, one snake came from a dense forest and bitten that Brahmana. Because of all the wrong deeds, he went to hell, in Narkaloka, in hell. And he went through various kind of punishments given to him in hell. Then next life, after completing all his sins, he came back on the earth um, as a ox. In a cow family, he came as ox. And he became ox in one farmer's family. And this farmer used to do a lot of pious things, donations, charity. So one day, because of doing a lot of work in the farmer's field, this ox was about to die. And all the people on that area, farmers union, came together and shared their pious credits. This is a very good deed one should do. One can give the pious credits to the ancestors, to the someone who is dying. And that is the benefit of this Mokshda Ekadashi. This Ekadashi on Advent of Bhagavad Gita, if you do a Ekadashi fasting, and if you give that credit to your ancestors, if the ancestors are in some material, some hell or some Pitra Loka, if they have not liberated, they can get liberation only by your credits of giving to the Ekadashi fruits you can give to your ancestors. Similarly, when this ox was dying, many people around the village came together and they offered their pious credits to this ox that he is dying. As a compassion, as a feeling of compassion, everybody shared their credits. There was one prostitute also staying in village, and she also came running and she also gave the pious credits. Though prostitute should be considered as a sinful, but what kind of pious credit she gave, that in third birth, this fellow again become a Brahmana. So we are showing you the births after births, what happens. So in first birth, he was a Brahmin, but because of wrong deeds, he went to hell, and then again he became ox, and then again he died. Then again, because of the pious credits of a prostitute, he became a Brahmana. But because of he did something in his last life that he could remember each and everything what happened to him. So he remembered, and now he started finding that prostitute, what kind of pious credit she gave, that dying in an animal life, I could get a birth in a Brahmin family. Though I have not done any good deeds in my past life, neither as a Brahmana, neither as an ox. So he started searching that prostitute. Then suddenly he was searching, he find out one parrot. And that parrot, that prostitute was having a parrot. And prostitute said to the Brahmana, because of this parrot, I became purified. And whatever I heard from this parrot, I gave that credit to you as an ox, and you became a Brahmana. So then this Brahmin asked to the parrot, what is your history? Can you tell me your past life? How could you become so pious that your speech can purify a prostitute? And even the prostitute gave the credit to me, and from ox life, I became a Brahmana. What kind of past life deeds you have done? So the parrot started sharing a story that I was a very educated person and I was having all the knowledge of Vedas, all the Upanishads. And because of the knowledge, I became egoistic. And because of all the ego, I started criticizing my teachers. Very important point. Whatever knowledge we gain, we should not criticize our teachers, our gurus, Guru Parampara. Sometimes we find that people learn from Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, and later on they become so knowledgeable that they even doubt on the purports written by Srila Prabhupada. And they go here and there in Vrindavan Dham whenever they come to India. They go here and there in Vrindavan Dham looking for someone, somewhere who can give me more knowledge. We should not doubt on the purports of Srila Prabhupada. So this fellow that parrot said, I was a very educated person. I know all the Vedas, but I become egoistic. I started criticizing my teachers. And what happened? I went to hell. And after getting the punishments, I took a birth as a parrot in a in a bird's form. But I don't know, but what fortune arises, I became a parrot in one Rishi's ashram. So Rishi was reciting Bhagavad Gita every day. I heard that Bhagavad Gita shlokas, and being a parrot, I become purified. Though my past life was very sinful, I came from hell. I became so purified. One day, one hunter came to the forest and he stole me from Rishi's ashram and gifted to this prostitute. Sold to this prostitute. This prostitute purchased me because I could speak some Sanskrit verses. So because of my that for entertainment, she purchased me. But she don't know the power of Bhagavad Gita shlokas, that I became purified by hearing it, and when I was speaking it, that I became purified and she became purified. And because she became purified, you became purified. So this is the power of Bhagavad Gita, explained by this parrot. And the parrot, after explaining it, left the body, went to Vaikuntha Dham. The prostitute left the body, went to Vaikuntha Dham. And the Brahmana, whose name was Susharma Brahman, he also started reading Bhagavad Gita every day. And after leaving his body, he also went to Vaikuntha Dham. So that is the power of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita only, if you read 18th chapter, verse number 70, where Krishna is mentioning, it is spoken by the Sanjay, who was having the divine eyes given by his Guru Vedavyas, who could visualize all this battle happening, all this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, just by staying in the Hastinapur. So Sanjay never went to battlefield, but how could he listen to Bhagavad Gita? So Bhagavad Gita was listened by Bhishma because of he was devoted to Krishna. By Arjuna because he surrendered to Krishna. Shishyastam shadimam tvam prapannam. I am surrendering to you as a disciple. And he heard Bhagavad Gita, he understood Bhagavad Gita. And the demigods in the upper planetary system was hearing Bhagavad Gita. And on hand, Sanjay was hearing Bhagavad Gita. But Sanjay was not on the battlefield. How could he hear Bhagavad Gita? He heard Bhagavad Gita because his teacher Vedavyas gave the eyes, divine eyes. So through the divine eyes, he could visualize Bhagavad Gita. So this is the power of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Even if you follow Bhagavad Gita, Krishna guarantees, I will provide you Divyam Chakshu. I will give you the divine eyes. And you can see Krishna in this life only. Like Srila Prabhupada, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, when the books comes after printing, why do you read those books? So Srila Prabhupada said, I read those books because I don't know what I have written. Because when I am translating, Krishna standing in my side speaking, and I am just translating as it is. So when the books get printed, I want to see and check. Really? Krishna spoke what? What's the important thing Krishna has spoken? So I also relish what Krishna spoke. So Prabhupada could see, visualize Krishna every time with him. He never forgets Krishna and always remembers Krishna. Srila Prabhupada used to say, I do not remember a time when I forgot Krishna. So that kind of love for Krishna, that kind of faith for Krishna is required to understand Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes so many philosophers read Bhagavad Gita but do not understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because they don't have faith on Krishna. So the prerequisite form to be filled before you start Bhagavad Gita, that you should have full faith on Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ado Shraddha. You should have, Rupa Goswami says, first thing required to understand Bhagavad Gita, faith on Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For example, if a devotee, if a child joins a school, and in a school like a prep school or a class 1 school, he goes to school and have a faith on teacher. Whatever teacher is going to teach me, I am going to accept as it is. We never did any debate to our teacher like, why A for apple? Teacher taught us A for apple. Why A for apple? For A for arrows, A for aerobatics, A for acronyms. For A, there are so many words. Why A for apple? We never debated our teacher. Because teacher knows our mentality, what we can remember easily, what we can learn more easily. So, we have to have faith on our teacher. We have to faith on our guru. We have to have faith on Krishna. Then only we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, it's very difficult. You read Bhagavad Gita 10 times. Bahu janam kari yadi sravana kirtan. Tabu to na paye prabhu pade prem dhan. If you read and hear Bhagavad Gita many times, but you don't have faith, so you can get liberation, but you can't get the love of Krishna. You can get liberation. Like this parrot get liberation, a Brahmana get liberation, prostitute get liberation. You can get liberation. You can get free from sins. You can go to Swarga Loka. Even you can go to Vaikuntha Loka. But you will never achieve the love for Krishna if you don't have faith. So, in this Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay said in the 70th verse, Adheshate chaye imam dharmam samvadam avayo Gyan Yagyena tenaham ishtam sayam iti me matihi. If somebody reads Bhagavad Gita every day, Adheshte chaya imam dharmam samvadam avayo. It's a dharma samvad. It's a discussion between Krishna and Arjuna. It's a dharma samvad. We read so many books, how to be a good manager, how to be a good leader, but we never read how to be a good devotee. So if you want to become a good devotee of Krishna, you need to read Bhagavad Gita. So in chapter 80, it's declared, I declare that he who studies the sacred conversation of ours worship me by his intelligence. So Krishna says this. This is mentioned. That one I declare, Krishna is declaring, who studies this sacred conversation of ours, me and Arjuna, worship me by his intelligence. So there are many people in the world worshipping Krishna, but they are not worshipping with intelligence. Gyan Yagyena. This Yagya is called as Gyan Yagyena. So people in Kurukshetra will come together on the Gita Jayanti day, which is a Moksha Ekashi, also the advent of Bhagavad Gita. The fire sacrifice is done, and the complete 700 shlokas spoken by devotees together. So it happens in all the Iskcon temples around the globe nowadays. But this parampara started from Kurukshetra Dham, reading Bhagavad Gita on the day of Gita Jayanti. And this is called as Gyan Yagya. This Yagya is called as Gyan Yagya. Tenamishtam syamiti me matihi. So Krishna says, if you read Bhagavad Gita, you worship me with intelligence. So what kind of intelligence? What kind of faith? In next verse, Krishna says, and one who listens with faith and without any envy becomes free from sinful reactions. So this is a basic requirement by Krishna himself, not by any person written this. श्रद्धावान अनुशुष्यश्च शृणुयात् अपि यो नरः स अपि मुक्तस्य शुभः लोकान् प्राप्नुते पुण्य कर्मणाम्. One who listens with faith, Shraddhavan Anushuyascha. You have to hear with faith and without any envy for Krishna or for devotee or for anyone. Without envy, with full faith, you will become free from sinful reactions and attain the auspicious planet where the pious people dwells. So, if you really want to get the association of Krishna, if you understood what is the importance of being with Krishna, then only you will work on this path. Even the great Shankaracharya given the glories of Bhagavad Gita. If you go on the starting page of Bhagavad Gita, you will find there are so many glories of Gita Mahatma is been given. So it's very important to read the Gita Mahatma. In Gita Mahatma, this introduction part of Bhagavad Gita, which we read, which is the most important part of Bhagavad Gita, sometimes devotees, they read Bhagavad Gita, but they misses on the introduction part. So if you really want to understand Bhagavad Gita, read before starting a Bhagavad Gita 10-20 times the introduction part of Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because the introduction of Bhagavad Gita added later on after the purports were given by Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada wanted to speak about Bhagavad Gita to the material people, and Prabhupada in ecstasy, without having any audience in front of him, he was in ecstasy speaking about Bhagavad Gita glories. And he was speaking, and it was recording, and speaking, no audience. And that becomes the introduction part, is the ecstasy flow of Srila Prabhupada for Krishna. And if you read introduction, you will find that complete Bhagavad Gita analogies, the complete Bhagavad Gita understanding given in the introduction part. So this Bhagavad Gita started like Krishna says, I am giving you this knowledge, Arjuna, first time. I am showing you this Virat Rupa, first time. Then again we read a verse, Evam parampara praptim rajarisho vidho sakala neha yoga nashta parantapa. In the chapter 4, Krishna says, Arjuna, I am giving you this knowledge, which I have given this knowledge previously to the Son, God, Vivaswan. I am giving you the supreme science, the chain of the disciplic succession broken, and to reestablish this knowledge, I am speaking again. So Srila Prabhupada write in the purport that this Bhagavad Gita was spoken 1 crore 20 lakh 12 crore years back, and this human society, it has been extended for 2 million years. So it was re-spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So what kind of Gita people think that Mahabharata happened 5,000 years back? Krishna is saying, I spoke Bhagavad Gita crores years back, and this human society is million years old. So we could not understand what kind of Bhagavad Gita, because at that time Arjuna was not there. So how could the Arjuna watch, the Dhritarashtra watch, that becomes a part of Bhagavad Gita? That's a confusion. So what Krishna explains, that I spoke Bhagavad Gita to God Vivaswan, the Sun God, that was Chatushloki Gita, not the 700 verses Gita. That is Chatushloki Gita, explained in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, verse number 8, 9, 10, 11. These are the 4 verses which were spoken by Krishna to the sun god Vivaswan, and later on, the same thing when Mahabharata battle happened, Krishna explaining elaborately the Bhagavad Gita. And because Arjuna and Duryodhan both were the family people of Vedavyas, because Vedavyas was the father of this Duryodhan and Pandava, Dhritarashtra and Pandava and Vidura. So Vedavyas wrote this Mahabharata as a family epic. What happened in my family? The biography of my family. So he explained that Dhritarashtra asked this, Sanjay asked this, Arjuna asked this. So the original Bhagavad Gita was Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, like in Srimad Bhagavatam. Originally, Srimad Bhagavatam was Chatushloki Bhagavatam spoken by Krishna to Brahma. Then Brahma gave that knowledge to Narada. And Narada gave that knowledge to Vedavyas. And Vedavyas, when felt very annoyed and in full of anxiety and was not feeling very relaxed, then Narada came to Vedavyas and said, "You have written all the Puranas, Upanishad, but you're not feeling happy, contented, because you have not written about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, about devotional life, about bhakti. So you write down." Then he elaborated that knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam into 18,000 verses. Similarly, these 700 verses elaborated by Vedavyas. So Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita was starting 10 chapter. If you go and read 8, 9, 10, 11 verses. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Krishna says, I am the source of all the spiritual and the material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engages in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts, with faith. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the source of all the spiritual material world. And then second, in the verse 9, he says, Machitaha matagat pranam bodhayantam parasparam kathyantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thought of my pure devotees dwells in me, and their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they deliver great satisfaction from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So the pure devotees always talks about Krishna to other devotee. Kathyanti shamam nityam, which satisfied me. Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha, satisfied me and satisfied the devotees ultimately. And that is why on Gita Jayanti we should read Bhagavad Gita, which satisfy devotees and satisfy Krishna. Then in 10 shloka, Krishna says, but how you become that kind of a devotee? If you start engaging yourself lovingly to my devotional service, I will give you that kind of intelligence. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upyantite. To those who constantly engage in my loving devotional service, I give my understanding and intelligence by which they can come up to me. And finally, in that 11th verse, Krishna says, but it happens with very fortunate people. It's not with everyone. Because everybody tried to become a devotee, but few understands Krishna with tattva. Tesham evam anukam partham aham agyana jam tamaha nashyami atma bhavastam jnana deepena bhashata. To show them my special mercy, I am dwelling in everybody's heart. So I destroy the darkness, the ignorance, the shining lamp of knowledge in their heart. But it happens with the person who engages, who tries to understand me, who accepts me as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then moves on this path. Then I will. So if you consider Krishna as Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Krishna is the ultimate God. He does everything material and spiritual. If you have that kind of faith, if you engage in devotional service, if you talk about Krishna, if you read Bhagavad Gita, then to show the special mercy, then the mercy will flow Krishna residing in your heart in the form of Paramatma Vishnu, he will give the shining lamp of knowledge and darkness will vanish, darkness goes away. So here's the power of Bhagavad Gita. Reading. This is Chatushloki Gita. Even if you learn these 4 shlokas and every day you recite, you can get the blessing of reading complete Bhagavad Gita every day. So in sometimes devotees ask, Bhagavad Gita was for Arjuna or for the complete entire society of human being? So in Gita Mahatma, Gita Glories of Gita, it is written, Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopal Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhira Bhokta Dugdham Gita Mritam Mahatah. So the Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita is one of the Upanishad called as Gita Upanishad. And this Gita Upanishad is the essence of all the Upanishad. Gita Amritam Mahatam. This, the nectar of Bhagavad Gita, is the essence of complete 108 Upanishads. 107. So Gita is the 108th. Just like a cow, Lord Krishna is a famous cowherd boy. We know that Krishna was in Vrindavan as a cowherd boy. So Krishna is a cowherd boy milking the cow. And for milking a cow, you need a calf, because first the calf brings the milk from the bags of cow, and then later on the calf is taken away, and the remaining overflowing milk, the overflowing love of cow for a calf, flows in the form of a milk, which is collected in the buckets for the entire society to get the nourishment. Similarly, the Upanishads are just like a cow. This Gita, Bhagavad Gita knowledge is like a cow. And Krishna is like a cowherd boy, using Arjuna as a calf to take out the knowledge. But for whom? Calf brings half a liter milk or a 1 liter milk, where the cow delivers 15 liter milks a day. So 14 liter milk is for whom? For the entire society. So the Gita is not for only Arjuna. That if you become a soldier, people think that if I join army, I will go on border, then may Gita help me. But not, Gita will not help me now. But actually, Gita will help from child age 5 to the old man 80, 85. In all the phases of life, you struggle like a battlefield. So the most important time to read Bhagavad Gita is not sitting under a tree or an AC room, is when you are in the toughest situation of your life. Always carry Bhagavad Gita with you, open it, and you will find solution given by Krishna for solving your problems of life. You will not believe me. You will think that we are a part of Iskcon, so we will read Bhagavad Gita as a spiritual book. No. All kind of economic development, material development, Ayurveda, you can take out anything from Bhagavad Gita if you read it seriously. And Srila Prabhupada's purports are amazing. Nobody can compare Bhagavad Gita as it is with other Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita spoken by Gita to Arjuna in the form of shlokas and translations, but in the form of purports, this Gita is spoken by Krishna to Srila Prabhupada personally. And this ecstasy of Srila Prabhupada in the form of his purports, we can read and we can understand the importance of Bhagavad Gita in our life. So Shankaracharya, though he was the incarnation of Lord Shiva to give Mayavad, Advaitvad to this world, but Shankaracharya from the heart always knows that because he was Lord Shiva, that I bless those people, those surrendered to Lord Krishna. And while meditating, people think that he spoke about oneness. So Shankaracharya is meditating on oneness. No, Shankaracharya was meditating on the Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna, the Bhojan Leela pastimes of Krishna, the Krishna eating with his cowherd friends. And then he wrote about Gita. Eko Shastram Devaki putra Gitam Eko Devam Devaki putra Eva Eko mantrasya namani yani karmapya ekam tasya devasya sevam. So he wrote this, Lord Shiva, in the form of Shankaracharya. Though he came to give the Mayava Shastras, Asat Shastram Prachannam Baudhuchyate, to fight against Buddhism, he came in the form of Shankaracharya. To remove the zero, he came and he gave the oneness, that we, soul and super soul is one. That is Mayavad. But from within, he was Lord Shiva. So he wrote, Eko Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. There is one only scripture which can deliver you, the powerful scripture. If you read Bhagavad Gita only, you do not need to read other Upanishads or other Upanishads or other Vedas. Eko Shastram, Devaki Putra Gitam. Only Gita is sufficient. Eko Devam, Devaki Putra Eva. There is only one God, Devaki Putra, Krishna. Eko Mantrasya Tasya Namani Yani. There is only mantra, one mantra to make him happy. Krishna, that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Karmapya ekam, one work one should do, all the souls. Karmapya ekam, tasya devasya seva. So to serve Krishna should be the ultimate thought of all the devotees. So on this auspicious day of Gita Jayanti, I thank all the devotees for coming together, hearing online this importance of Bhagavad Gita in our life. Distribute this knowledge as much as you can to all the wandering souls in this material world and help them with compassionate bhav, with the feeling of compassion, that they should also liberate, like we heard a story of a parrot or a prostitute or a brahmana. They should also get liberation. So entire family, on this new year, you can gift the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, and relish the glories of Krishna and his devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Really enlightening, a lot to learn, and you covered a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I just want to check if you have time to take any question from devotees or.
Yeah. Yes, Ishwar Krishna Prabhuji. Yes.
Dear devotees, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and if you want to ask from Prabhuji.